Hey folks, KILT-MAN here, KILT-MAN at your services. How are you all? I hope you're all doing very, very well. Now, you may notice it's a bit hazy and it's kind of like orange tinted. It's because, yes, I put some thought into this. The weather is bright, sunny and super, super hot. Yesterday, which was Saturday, was the hottest day of the year in the UK. Officially 29 degrees it was, but it felt enormously hotter than that. So I did the sensible thing and I kept out of the sun for health reasons. I stayed in the pub instead for health reasons and was there for most of the day. And weirdly enough, because it was that hot and it was ridiculous. It was oppressive, it was muggy, it was humid. Oh, what happens when it's muggy, hot and humid? Yeah, the heavens will open. Lightning will flash, thunder will roar, and yeah, so couldn't leave the pub then, could I? Would have got wet. So, stayed a bit longer, and now it's super, super hot again, and it did not burn off any of that humidity. The atmosphere is still as oppressive, and it's really pushing down on you. It's not good for people with hair like this, and mind you, having hair like this is never good anyway, regardless, but it's super hot again. Apparently it's going to get all windy and full of rain and thunder again later on, and all of tomorrow is forecast for thunderstorms. Now why would that bother me especially? Well, it's because it's my birthday tomorrow. Mine and Mrs. KILT-MAN's birthday, yes, on the same day. The people who've known us for donkey's years still go, oh, it's on the same day, and you go, oh God, how many times am I going to tell you? And we've got a few things lined up, but some of which depend on being outdoors. And I don't really fancy it. It's got, lashing rain and thunder. So hopefully, fingers crossed, things will work out. But anyway, folks, that explains all the oranginess. Oh, and the flowers there, which I managed to get for Mrs. KILT-MAN yesterday. And took them to the pub as well. Oh, they were nice and watered in the pub as well, trust me. And then, of course, they got massively watered on the way back home when the rain hadn't gone off. So, anyway. But with it being our birthday, we have a mystery canvas to unbox. Yes, you know him, you love him. Steve 007 Smith. The purveyor and benefactor and super channel contributor of things like what you see behind me there. And all the canvases that I've opened many, many times. And of course, you know the score. He sends me some clues and I have to guess and work out what the film is by his very cryptic, sometimes very completely ambiguous sort of clues. Well, mostly I get them. Mostly I'm on the ball. Well, this time I've got no chance. Why? Because he hasn't given me any clues. No, not one. Not one clue. He said, just open it, buddy. So I can only assume it's something to do with the birthday. And he has sent personalised canvases before, one of which completely blew me and Mrs. KILT-MAN away. It was our honeymoon night. No. But it was our wedding, a big canvas of our wedding day. How did he do that? He wasn't even there. That's the power he has. With those little mystical elves he uses to manufacture these awesome canvases. So, no clues. So, no idea. Here it is. Here's the box. Now, going to open it, and I don't even know what to think. It could be a picture of me in the nudie. I'd have to ask him severe questions then. How did you get that? It wouldn't be too difficult. There's loads of pictures of me in some of the most obvious of places as well. So, without further ado, ski and do. Yeah, ski and do, and we're going to break into this. I'm playing, I've got no idea what it is, so hodgepodge of stuff. I'm playing Christopher Young's score for the film Species. Yeah, it wasn't a very good movie, I didn't think, but the score that Christopher Young delivered is fabulous, as his scores always are. Very sensual and ethereal and haunting. Wonderful. And probably got nothing whatsoever to do with what's in here. So, but got to play the game, haven't we? So what's it going to be? And the thing is, he only sent a canvas just literally not even a week before this turned up. I've had this for a couple of days, but I was going to leave it to open it on the birthday itself, which is tomorrow. I may have mentioned it. And but you know, to be honest, I've got itchy fingers, and I thought, well, we're kind of busy tomorrow, so I'll do it now. I'll do it now. So any ideas, folks? Steve? There's no game to play, is there? Well, let's cut into it anyway, and I'll think of something. Let's see if we can get into this. Don't know why I bother with that. Don't need it half the time. Right, now you guys know that the canvas comes, it's all I can see is the back of it, and you can't see through it. And it's on a piece of cardboard and cellophaned in, so I can't even have a little sneaky peek. And what I'm going to do, look here, this. I'm going to slice open the cellophane, and I'm going to raise it so you guys see it first. Why? Because none of us know what it is. And it could be upside down, or it could be not like a portrait, it could be landscape. I don't know. But yeah, he only sent one just like less than a week ago, and then this one turned up. So I was like, my God, spoiling me. Okay, are we gonna think of something? What have I talked about a lot lately? Cliffhanger. I've mentioned cliffhanger a lot. Is it cliffhanger? Because I did think that the last one could have been cliffhanger, and it was actually Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. But I did get it though. I had worked it out. But cliffhanger was one of my little sort of, you know, it could be this one. Or Rambo 3 was the other idea. So it could be Rambo 3. It could be cliffhanger. Let's just open and find out, shall we? So I'm going to slice open. Oh, I mean, normally I'm about half an hour into the video before I've actually begun to slice this bit open. So Steve, you've thrown me right off my track there. Oh God. What's it going to be? Jason the Argonauts is there. The Thing from Another World is there. Canvases that he's done. American Werewolf's over there. Is it The Howling? Is it Werewolf? Love me werewolves, don't I? And he did a canvas one time where I was a werewolf, where the werewolf of the Whirl, and it was my face, but in the Oliver Reed Hammer werewolf makeup by Roy Ashton. And it looked great as well. And it was a bogus movie starring Kurt Russell and the mysterious KILT-MAN. What? Oh, just show it. All right. Well, let's go with cliffhanger. I don't know. Okay, have you seen? Well, it was upside down, wasn't it? It's Indiana Jones again! And the Last Crusade. Oh, why didn't I think of that? I've just been talking about Indiana Jones as well. Hey, look, it goes with the orange theme. Look, doesn't it? Lethal Weapon over there, all flames and fire. This orange sort of wrapping paper for the big bouquet of flowers. The orange hue for Curse of the Werewolf there. And Indiana Jones. And the Last Crusade. Oh, fucking hell, fantastic, mate. Excuse me. I was choking on my own excitement there. Got hair in my mouth now as well. Wow. Sorry. That's the original poster, isn't it? Of course. Henry Jones Sr. Sean Connery. He was only, what, a handful of years older than Harrison Ford anyway when he made this. John Rhys Davies there. Excuse me. That tank. They have him in the belly of that beast, says Salah. Oh, here's the dog. Just come back in after a walk to the picnic I've put out there for it. and then you'll hear her slurping some water. But there's Indy again. Oh, Steve, you know what's next, don't you? Well, there's Raiders of the Lost Ark, the first one. To go along. No. Honest to God, that is fabulous. And what a movie as well. I mean, we all love Raiders, and we have that debate goes on. Which one's the best? Some people love Temple of Doom, which I am a massive fan of Temple of Doom. But some people don't like it at all. And I've seen a lot on forums, because everyone's talking about Dial of Destiny, aren't they? So Indiana Jones is the flavour of the month. Although we know advance word on Dial of Destiny isn't too favourable. But I'm still looking forward to it. And this is only adding to the whole impetus. Do you know what? Wait there. Oh God, got something else to show you. Hello, Will. You all right? Yeah, we have the fedora. I had other versions of this which were not very good. They were more Freddy Krueger than Indiana Jones. But this one is the actual fedora made for India. Well, not one Harrison Ford wears in the movies. Well, a fair bit of stuttering was done there, wasn't it? But this is a really good replica of it. And it's beautiful, and I was going to do a video on it, especially about this. Steve's preempted me. But there you go. And I've also got the whip is on the way, and the gas mask bag, which he puts all his artifacts, his treasures in. You know, good job he never finds anything too big, because he can fit everything in that, can't he? Mind you, he couldn't fit the Ark in there, could he? No. He could fit the Holy Grail, though. But you can't take the Holy Grail out, though, can you? The Grail Knight says so. No. Because bad things will happen. But, so I love Temple of Doom, but we all love Raiders. And Temple of Doom's the darkest, the nastiest, but people forget the violence that's in Raiders as well. And it's very, very violent. But Last Crusade waters down the violence a little bit, but it brings in the fabulous humour and the wonderful chemistry between him and, where's he gone? Him. Who knew that Sean Connery was such a fantastic comedy actor with his timing and his little personality, his little quirks is wonderful in the role. Absolutely wonderful. And God, normally I'm prepared to discuss, the movie I think it is, but he's wrong-footed me good style here. Cheers, Steve. But we all know the movie, because it's the funny one. And what gets me? Let's just have a little run through. You've got the fabulous prologue as well, with River Phoenix playing the young Indiana Jones, which is a movie in its own right. And he gets the scar on his chin, learns about the whip. Fedora gives him, you lost this time, kid. Doesn't always have to be that way. And he gives him the hat. And of course, he wore, the leather jacket, the leather aviator. So young Indy gets influenced by this guy. And so to go on a life of exploration and adventure, looking like the coolest 30s, two-fisted hero that ever could be. But you get, his dad's there as well. So you get an introduction to the home life of Indy. And where's the mother gone? What happened to the mother? They have a little debate, don't they, later on, mother didn't like this obsession you've got with the Grail. Mother didn't understand. Your mother understood perfectly well. I'm going to mangle that accent throughout this, aren't I? So, best have some of this then. And then, what is it? What's his name? Walter Donovan, Julian Glover, recruits Indy to go and find the guy that he'd recruited to go and find the Holy Grail. Find the man and you'll find the Grail. Well, who is this man? Well, it's your father. So yeah, him and Marcus Brody have to go out to, where they go to Venice, don't they? To meet Alison Doody, Elsa Schneider. And Donovan says to him, Indiana, don't trust anyone. Well, you can't, because they're all bastards, aren't they? except for Marcus Brody and his dad. And his dad's being held in that German chateau. And the irony there. You've got a Scotsman playing Indy's dad, who was held captive in a German-occupied castle in Europe somewhere. And Indy and Elsa break in there. Well, Elsa's all along part of it, but they break in there. And Indiana puts on a Scottish accent, playing some lord who, what, they see the tapestries? What? And the German guy's going like, what tapestries? You know, this is a castle, isn't it? You know, you have tapestries. Another accent, completely mangled. And the German sort of goes to him like, if you're a Scottish lord, then I'm Mickey Mouse. Bang! And then he does the leap through the window and he gets smacked on the head by a vase. And it's his dad. One of my favourite ever moments. Just the way that Sean Connery comes in, he goes, Junior? And he's like, oh, if only I'd known, you know, and he shattered this vase. And then he's like, well, you know, okay, Dad, it's all right. He's like, no, it is all right. It's a fake. He's not asked about his son. What are you doing here? You know, well, I've got your Grail diary. What? You brought the Grail diary here. And of course the Germans get in there and surround them all. And he's going like, well, it's a good job he didn't bring the diary. You think I'd be stupid enough to send it to him? And like, you didn't bring it, did you? And he's going like, well, Junior. And they get tied up and they're back to back. And Elsa Schneider has shagged the pair of them. And she's whispering sweet nothings in Indy's ear, but Sean Connery thinks she's talking to him. Oh, it was what was splendid, wasn't it? You know. Indy, this is how, because she's now revealed herself to be a snake in the grass. This is how we say goodbye in Austria. Gives him a big snoggage, and and then General Vogel. Oh, I forgot what his real name is now. Comes over, and he's the big nasty German. He keeps seeing throughout the movie, and he goes, "This is how we say goodbye in Germany." Bang! Smacks Indy in the face, whose head goes back, and clocks Sean Connery. And Indy goes, I prefer the Austrian version. And then Sean Connery's going like, yeah, so did I. It's just brilliant. Dad, look, here's my lighter. They're tied. There's 2 armchairs back to back, like loads of rope around him. It's pure comic book stuff, isn't it? He's like, Dad, look, you know, if you can get the lighter, you know, you can burn him through the ropes. Yeah, and he tries to pass it to him. And he goes, oh, very clever, Junior. And then drops it, doesn't he? And Dad, you know, and son, the carpet's on fire, and the chair, and the table. Suddenly they're engulfed in flames, and they're tied to this friggin'. I know you gentlemen have been through a lot, but when you find the time, I'd rather not spend the rest of this winter tied to this fucking couch. Wrong movie, but felt apt at the same time. And they get into the fireplace, and the fireplace revolves, doesn't it? And you've got all the German radio operating room in there, and that girl isn't she? Oh, I've forgotten who plays her. I'm sure she's probably not credited anyway in the movie, but she's Imelda Staunton, is that it? Anyway, and she turns around, and the thing, they just smile at it, and she goes, alert! And they keep spinning around in the chair and just shooting at them. And like you got Henry Jones's oft comment, you know, this is intolerable. It's genius. Oh, you've got the bit in the Venice library where Indy's trying to find the clues, and he goes up this spiral staircase, and there's the X. He goes like 10, because they've got to get all these bits and clues and decipher it to find the whereabouts. Blah blah blah. I know all that. And literally X marks the spot. And you've got that librarian stamping books, and he's the guy. You see him in loads of things. He looks just like Albert Einstein, and he's there, and he's stamping the books. So Indy picks up a great big, I don't know what it is, great big piece of metal, I don't know, and it starts smashing through the marble floor. But he times it with the guy stamping the books. So he goes right, as a guy stamping, and he's going, ka-dang! The guy's looking at it. What's this? Junk. Ka-dang! it's the funny one. Last Crusade is the funny one. And, you've got the... they get on the Zeppelin, don't they? And you've got... you know the Germans are on to him. And that General Vogel, what is his name? He's like, that's going to do my head in that, like. Michael Baird, I think it is. Or Baird, Michael Baird. And he's been in lots of things as well, like. And you've got Sean Connery sitting there reading the paper, and Vogel spots him, just uses his cane to drag the paper down. And Sean Connery's just going like... But Indy's got dressed up as the ticket inspector. He's going, tickets please. And like, he sees what's happened, grabs the punches him and throws him, as the Zeppelin's taken off, he throws him out of the Zeppelin carriage cart, you know, where all the people sit, not the big balloon thing. And he lands in all the luggage which is down there. And, and everyone's like that stunned. And he goes, no ticket. So they all go, and they're all rummaging. The tickets. And then you got that really naff superimposed shot of Vogel on the deck and amongst all this luggage and stuff like he landed on, and the Zeppelin's taken off and he's going like that, but it looks really, really shit. Some of the visual effects in the movie aren't the best, I'll be honest, but they were great at the time, because then obviously they know the Germans are onto them because there's bloody German aircraft coming after them. And there's a little aircraft underneath the belly of the Zeppelin. So you get into that, and it's got a machine gun on it. And so Indy's flying the plane. You know, you can fly a plane. Fly it, yeah. Landing it. They've never done that. He goes, Dad, man the gun. He's going like, 11 o'clock. And he's checking his watch. He's going like, what happens at 11? He's like, no, Dad, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Shoot. And he's going, and he spins the gun round and shoots the tail off the plane. And Indy's going like, what, did he hit us? I'm sorry, son, but they got us. Because he's blown the tail off the plane. But it is just great. This is intolerable. And he scares the birds. No, it doesn't do chicken noises, does he? I mean, he makes bird noises. And he's got his brolly like that, scaring the birds into the air, which obviously collide with another German plane. So he just plummets into the side of a cliff. And then you get that, they go down a tunnel, don't they? And it's fun, but it's also, what the hell? And like this German plane flies into the tunnel as well, but knocks both wings off it. And it's skating on sparks down a tunnel. And they're driving and they're looking at the German pilot, and he's looking at them and looking at this. And as he comes out the other side of it, it just explodes for whatever reason. It's great though. It is great. Oh, the motorbike chase as well. Why am I playing this? I've got Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade score. Let me see. Bear with me. Let's go on to Indiana Jones. Indy! Oh shit, where is he? Okay. Let's get on to... This is the chase at the beginning with the River Phoenix, the young Indy. And he's running because he's got the what is it, the Medallion of Cortez or whatever it is, like. It's so sprightly. John Williams really engages it with such energy, and it's exciting. But you know there's no real danger there, and that's the clever thing that Spielberg does with this movie. When there's real danger, you understand that. But you know young Indy's not going to get hurt, and these guys who are chasing after him, you know, they're not that nasty. They're a bit more nefarious. You know, this belongs in a museum. And of course, when it cuts from the young Indy to Harrison Ford getting the shit punched out of him on the rain-lashed deck of a ship, and he's got the same Panama hat man, and he's met Fedora, who gave him the fedora, and he's like, you know, it belongs in a museum. So do you, Dr. Jones. And of course, with Down of Destiny, yeah, he fucking does belong in a museum. But speaking of museums, you got Denham Elliott as well. Like, you know, what I was going to call him Dr. Martin Brody there. What is his name? what's his first name? Well, Brody, anyway, we call him Brody. And the Germans have caught Indy and his dad, and they go like, well, we've already got, but hang on, they've got the Grail diary. I've got them all over the show. Steve, you fucked me up good style with this. And some pages are missing, maps and stuff like. I was like, well, the Grail's no good without the maps. We need those pages. Who's got them pages? Marcus, that's it. Dr. Marcus Brody's got him. Well, we get Brody and we've got everything. We don't need you. You'll never find him. You don't know where he is. You know, he can speak 14 different languages. You know, he'll blend in. He knows every culture. He'll blend in. You'll never find him. And it cuts to Marcus Brody in the middle of the Egyptian town, Saharan bloody bazaar with his brolly. Anybody speak English? Anybody here speak English? Sticking out like a massive neon sore thumb. He'll blend in. You'll never find him. And of course, they find him straight away. And like, but you said you'd never find him. God, what accent did they give Sean Connery then? You said you'd never find him. You know Marcus. He got lost in his own library once. Got lost in his own library. It's just genius. The humour in this movie, it really does sell it. Because I thought, and I still do think that I love Raiders of the Lost Ark, but I'm not religious, you see, so I don't find a lot of succor, probably wrong choice of words there, in religious artifacts, holy stuff, like a huge amount of me doesn't believe that they're there. But, you know, I'm quite happy to pull up with the blood of Kali, you know, and the thuggy cult in Temple of Doom. Of course I am. Because that exists, doesn't it? And voodoo dolls. But, so I thought, well, you've done the religious thing. And then you did the thuggy cult and all that, and you offended all the people in India. Clever move, that. But you went back to, you know, religion. And I think one issue I have with Last Crusade is that when Julian Glover, Walter Donovan, is telling Indy about all the things that he's found, and that obviously your dad's out there, we need that Grail diary, we find him and you'll find the Grail. And the search for the Grail is a search for the divine in all of us. Built to a crescendo there, as I said that. And but Indy kind of doesn't believe. He said, my dad was obsessed with this, you know, and it killed it. Well, it hasn't killed him, but it drove us apart and all this. But he's acting like he doesn't believe in it. Well, you found the Ark of the Covenant. You've seen its power. You know. Well, you didn't see its power because, Marion, don't look at it. Look away. Close your eyes, Marion. But he knows the power of these things. He knows that they exist. So why do you have a problem with the Holy Grail? Because you already know that if you found that, then quite clearly in this universe of Indiana Jones, God and all of that stuff genuinely exists. So, they're still laughing at it. Junior! It is outstanding. And the tank chase. I mean, you're back in the desert again, and you've got German Nazis. I hate these guys. And you've got Adolf Hitler as well. He meets Adolf Hitler. And that's Michael Sheard, is it? Who was in Star Wars, who plays Hitler. Gets it to sign. He actually signs the diary as well, like the Grail diary. It is clever, corny as hell, but clever. And but you see, that's a weird bit as well, because it's a big Nazi propaganda march, a big rally. And all the kids are throwing books on big bonfires. And you see Alison Doody as Elsa Schneider, who is a scientist in her own right. And in her own Reich as well. Hey. But you see, she weeps when she sees the books being burned. And you got that great line from Sean Connery when he's getting slapped by that bloody General Vogel. Gets slapped in the face several times. And he finally catches his hand. He says, well, teach me one thing. Let's get this line right. You know, have you learned nothing from your search for the Grail? Well, I've learned one thing. The goose-stepping morons like you should learn to read books instead of burn them. Something like that. Goose-stepping morons like you. The motorbike chase. Oh, yeah. Brilliant. Love that. I mean, again, they escape from the German castle, the chateau, whatever, and you know, there'll be some kind of lever somewhere. There'll be a secret way out, and like obviously, Indy Senior, well, Jones Senior, leans on the thing, and the stairway gives way, and then you go, falls down, and they come out on the side of a river, and there's all boats there, and like he lets one of the boats go, and like but they don't get it, and like Dr. Senior is going like, what about the boat? We're not getting in the boat. What the hell? Who was that? Groucho? And then they get on the motorbike in a sidecar. But what gets me about that is all the Germans come tumbling down the stairs, and like, they see the boat going off in the distance, which is they're not on it, and they leap into another boat, and then straight away Indy and his dad come out of this big packing crate and storm off down the side of the riverbank on the road. Why not wait until the Germans are actually gone? Because all they do is get back out. You know, you haven't. They could have buggered off. You know, and you could have gone in the other direction, but they'd never have come after you. But it's a good sequence though. You got jousting with like the checkpoint flagpole thing, and you got the German pulling wheelies and his front tire. And he's ramming the back of their sidecar and all that. This is great. Like, hang on, Dad. His umbrella and his briefcase are almost flying out, like, and he turns around and he glares at Indy. Their relationship is brilliant. Their chemistry is so addictive and believable. And then even when like they think that when the tank's gone over the edge, Vogel, again another bad visual effect, he's going, "Ah!" as it hurtles towards the bottom of the ravine, and you see his body as well when the turret breaks off. You see his body come out. Well, a dummy, but it's a nice little touch. Oh, they didn't just make him disappear, and he's tumbling over there. And of course, they all think that Indy's gone over the edge with it. Son, I never got a moment. I was always too busy. I never got a moment to tell you how much I loved you. And Indy's come up the other side, and he's like, look, he's trying to see what you're looking at. Chuck turns around, he's going like, son, you're alive. Oh, and the Grail Knight. And this is another Michael Edison, who was a great voiceover artist and a big stage actor. And when you see the Grail Knight, he one of the three brothers, but he was the bravest amongst them. And he's been there for fucking 2,000 years or whatever it is, like guarding the Grail. And he looks like John Cleese. He looks like he's just stepped off the set of Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Na-na! He chose poorly. If you think about it, Donovan didn't choose. It was Elsa who chose it, and he went, oh yes, this clearly is the cup of the King of Kings, you know, gets all bejeweled and golden and all that, like, but Indy's like, no, the son of a carpenter wouldn't have a grail like that. How do you fucking know that? How do you know there's hundreds of grails? Whose idea was that? You know, you've got to get through the penitent man and all that, like the breath of Christ and all this sort of stuff, like, and, well, what is it now? He's got the name of God, it's spelled that name of God, like, and it's Jehovah, so he steps on the J, and of course, his dad's been shot, and he's dying outside the tomb of the Grail, and they need the Grail to bring him back to life, like, but he knows his son's going through this penitent man, and they're both going. When I first saw this movie, I grew to hate that word penitent. Oh God, because you hear it 1,000 times in that final sequence. Penitent man, penitent man, a penitent man is humble before God. Oh, then big fucking blades go past like. But right, so it's Jehovah, right? So step on a J, why falls through because his dad goes. But in what is it now? In Latin, Jehovah begins with an I. I don't know how that works at all, but anyway, I will take my trust in Sean Connery. He chose poorly. And he goes all grey, doesn't he? And his hair fucking withers out. And Alison Dooley's like that. I mean, it's not as exciting or as gruesome as the end of Raiders, where they fucking explode. Tote's face just melts, and the other guys just explode into a million shards. The bodies go flying up into the clouds. And the angels go through the bodies of all the Germans there, and these fucking biblical laser beams. It's a shockingly visceral and aggressive sequence. Whereas at the end of Last Crusade, it's not quite like that. It's much lighter. Even though you've got his dad's dying, and he picks the right grail, runs out, and they pour it on the wound, and he have a swig of this, Dad, and the wound just fades away. But the grail can't go beyond the what is it now? The circle or something? There's a sign, isn't there, on the deck, and he can't take it beyond that. But Elsa, Indy, we've got this. We can have immortality. Elsa, put it back. And the fucking ground breaks open, and she goes way down. She goes, Indy, because she's reaching for it. And then I love that reversal where he's fallen into the crevasse himself, but his dad's holding on. Give me your other hand, son. And but the grail's on a ledge. He's reaching for it. Indy, let it go. Dad, let it go, son. It's great. And it's, his obsession. He's found it. I've seen it, done that. And he sees the knight wave to him because the knight can't leave either. And Henry Jones Sr. is just like, and this knight, John Cleese is there. It's going like, it's John Cleese. Isn't it? Oh yes, Miss Moneypenny, that's John Cleese. I better give up on that fucking accent, I think. But I love it. And it was the perfect swan song for Indy and the Avengers. A trilogy, two-fisted 30s comic book, serial, action, thriller, dramas, adventurous, vigorous, funny, romantic, and incredibly iconic. And then years later, they did, well, you know what they did. They did a great big shit all over Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. A film, folks, I've said this time and time again, I still try to watch it occasionally because I want to like it. And I don't mind the nuclear bloody fridge. I don't care about that. I like all the opening, apart from Ray Winston. You don't know him. You don't know him. You don't know. Oh, fucking shut up. Indy. Oh, fucking hell. God, I like Ray Winston, but fuck off, will you? John Hurt, completely and utterly squandered. Kate Blanchett with that fuck off. I like Kate Blanchett, but what the hell? What was her name? Irina or something like that? And you brought Marion back, but you brought Shia LaBeouf. And what the hell was that about? Swinging through the trees with with the fucking monkeys. Who did you think that was going to appeal to? Lucas, what the fuck? That's a Lucas touch, that's not Spielberg, that's a Lucas touch. God awful. And fucking gophers and all that. Oh god, you didn't need that shit either. But the world's slowest chase. They're driving through a thick jungle, but there's a fucking road there, or at least two roads, because they've got Shia LaBeouf hanging between. No, he's standing on the thing, isn't he? I'm thinking of oh god, Short Round and the minecart chase in Temple of Doom. But he's having a big sword fight between the it's so stupid, and the cars are going about 3 miles an hour. I know in a thick jungle you couldn't go much more than that anyway, but they're not quite clear roads. It's just a travesty, I tell you. Oh dear, is this the motorcycle chase? I think it is. It is, yeah. I don't know, because what I'm playing for you here, this is the complete score, and wouldn't you know it, because it's a bit of a naughty one. But even the dog snorted then, like with indignation. She's lying down there. There's no track titles on it. It's just part 1 and part 2, because it's 2 different CDs. But anyway, it's the score that we're interested in. And then, well, Dial of Destiny. Oh God. Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Every time I watch the trailer for this, I do enjoy it. And when John Williams' Raiders theme does kick in, oh my God. And it's a more stately, slower, more reverberous, elegiac interpretation. And wow, it makes the hairs rise. And I kid you not, because it's the nostalgia and the attachment you have for it, there's a tear in my eye as well. Maybe like Elsa looking at the books being burned, you know. I've got a tear in my eye because that's how it gets you. Oh, please don't let us down, please. But Phoebe Waller-Bridge, the more I watch the trailer, the more annoying she becomes. And that's what you don't want. You really don't want her to take over and big Fleabag and other stuff that she's done. Yeah, but that's your style. That's great. That doesn't necessarily translate to an Indiana Jones movie. Oh God, what am I saying? I haven't seen it. I don't know what it's going to be like. But I'm keeping everything crossed. Got some other things crossed here, but you're not seeing that. So folks, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Oh, you know, I'm kicking myself now. I should have got that. Because you just sent Temple of Doom. I don't know. And as I say, it fits with the orange theme, doesn't it? Because he's massively sunburnt there. You've got this ochre tinted, you know, it's bright and sunny. It's like what's out there right now. Fantastic. Cheers, Steve, mate. A nice birthday present. And by the way, the hat was a birthday present to myself. I thought I'm having that. I'll do a video on the hat specifically because it's great. And maybe when I get the gas mask bag and the whip, which are both arriving, supposed to be tomorrow, which is the birthday. Oh yes, I time these things, you know. And but whether they do turn up in time, I don't know. But either way, you get to see them because I've got the Temple of Doom jacket. I've got the pants. I've got the shirt. I've got the belt. I haven't got the shoes though, and I haven't got the gun or the holster. Damn it. Wait, I know. It doesn't work with these, but what you do, you've got to tie your hair up. Well, which I'm sure I can do. Let's just see. There's always some of these knocking about. Let's just have a little, ooh, look at this. Look like some kind of matron. Right, tie that. And now. Junior? Oh. He is Junior. Junior? Dad! It belongs in a museum. That's more like Arnold Schwarzenegger. It belongs in a museum! God. You lost this time, kid. It doesn't always have to be that way, and he gives him that. I wouldn't give it. A snotty-nosed little kid who's just stolen from me, someone I was going to make some profit from. I'm not going to give him me hat. No way. No matter how much respect you might have for him. But that is a great sequence, and it sets it up so well. All the backstory, his fear of snakes, the scar, his sudden use of a whip, you know, and his diligence and dedication to preserving artifacts. In reality, should a lot of these things stay where they were meant to stay? Of course, he doesn't nick the Sankara stones from Temple of Doom. They don't go to any museum. They go back to the respective villages and all that to bring back prosperity and good crops and probably a bit of fertility as well, like. And the Grail stays where the Grail should be, you know. So Indy doesn't always nick stuff. He keeps them, and the Ark. Well, he doesn't get to keep that either, you know, because it gets locked away in Area 51 to be looked at by top men. Folks, I happen to always shall be KILT-MAN. I think they're great. You can't go wrong with these original posters. They are amazing. The colours, the style, it's old school. I mean, I know, in a way, I take the piss out of modern posters. Well, say modern posters. From about the 90s onwards, the likes of Scream and Urban Legend, horror posters would always just have floating heads. Just Photoshop floating heads. And that became such a standard. Just had the title and a bunch of floating heads. Where's the artwork? Where's the passion? Well, in many ways you can go, well, hang on, that's just a bunch of floating heads, but they are attached to bodies, you might notice. And you've got action and stuff taking place. You've got scenes from the movie. And you've got this sort of old comic book or pulp serial novels. This sort of jagged edge sort of thing. Fantastic stuff. And of course, that iconic font. Folks, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and another video about Indiana Jones. There's been quite a lot of these lately. So, a long may they continue. Let's all hope and pray that Dial of Destiny does deliver and is exciting, is fun. I don't want to be sitting here and ripping the piss out of it and saying what a shitfest that was, as many people already have who haven't even seen the film. But they've read all these reviews, they've heard all the feedback, which, you know, it could be a good barometer or a bad barometer. So, you know, maybe they're on the money, but you can't speak with any authority about something unless you've seen it. So, you know, at least with me, I will have seen the film, and I may talk about it quite a lot. I just hope, I'm optimistic, so I just pray that, you know, I have good things to say about it, that we actually enjoyed ourselves watching it and want to see it again. Oh, Crystal Skull, I said before, I do attempt to watch it, but I cannot get through it. I just cannot get through it at all. Because it doesn't work. And if some people are saying this one's worse, then that'll get lost. I really don't believe that. Oh, God. Oh, I did this with Halloween Kills, didn't I? Oh, no. Right, folks. I'm off. So please, in the meantime, in this ever adventurous and intrepid, holy relic seeking in between time, please keep it Celtic, keep it Celtic. And I'm going to see you all. Search for the Grail. It's a search for the divine in all of us. You see, the pen is mightier than the sword. Brody. He got lost in his own museum once. Junior!